Hello everybody, welcome back to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Carabao Cup final live watch-along as Liverpool take on Newcastle in a big game. I hope you're all excited for it. Lots of people saying up the tune. That means they want Newcastle to win. Look, I honestly, I want Newcastle to win. Man United, Manchester United, aren't we? We don't want Liverpool winning anything. They're already going to win the bloody league, so I'd love Newcastle to win. I think it's an underdog story, isn't it? I don't think they will. I think Liverpool will have too much for them. But having said that, Liverpool were a little bit lacklustre against PSG. They weren't that good against Southampton last weekend. And Newcastle, despite not having Anthony Gordon and Lewis Hall injury, have still shown a resilience. And whilst I think Liverpool will win, I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility for Newcastle to do it either. So, let's see how it goes. Jar Bar Drinks, welcome to the Members Club, and thank you very much for that, for joining the Members Club. Yes, thank you. Right, let's have a look at the teams. There's the Liverpool lineup for you. Obviously, this is the Carabao Cup final. It's not a league game. Kelleher in goal, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Kanate, Robertson, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Szoboszlai, Diaz and Jota. I presume that the reason for Kelleher being in goal is because it's Carabao Cup and that's what they've been doing all along. Newcastle, Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Byrne, Livramento, Bruno G, Tonali, Joel Linton, Jacob Murphy, Isak and Harvey Barnes. That's not a bad Newcastle side, you know. I know Anthony Gordon not being there is big, but you'd still say Bruno G, Tonali and Joel Linton is a very good midfield. The back five is strong-ish. And the front three, okay, you haven't got Anthony Gordon, but you've still got Isak and Harvey Barnes can do a job. So I think that I think you'd look at that Newcastle and go, we've got a chance. We've got a chance. A lot of things have got to go our way, but we have got a chance. Who do you think will win the Champions League, says Greenfire? I've been asked this a lot this week, and I think it's in the balance, you know. I think Real Madrid, you're probably going to struggle to go away from because of just their relationship with the league and the Champions League and the European Cup. But I think Arsenal might give them a bit of a game as well. Who are the Ballon d'Or top three favourites in your opinion, says Mohammed? I would say anybody who's actually in the Champions League. So Rafinha. I would say, obviously, it might be the year they give it to Vinny J. But yeah, I think keep an eye on who's going to win the Champions League and how well they're doing in their domestic league, I suppose. There's no reason it couldn't be an Inter Milan player, you know? Yeah. What score for this game and United game, says Matthew Frost? Yes, there is a Manchester United game. I will be live on the United stand at 7 o'clock for that, which is interesting because this game's due to finish around 6:30, but we could have extra time and we could have penalties. So yeah, I think Liverpool win it 2-0, and I think Man United will beat Leicester as well. But it's interesting because just on Sky they've just advertised there that they've got the Man United Leicester game, so they won't want extra time here and penalties either, will they? What do you think of Onana probably not starting for United, says Fade? I think he probably will. What channel is the game on? It's on Sky for me, Sky Sports Live. So there we go. Did you watch the F1, says Mr. Starfish? I haven't watched it yet. I know the result though, so you can't spoil it, but I haven't watched it yet. Bit disappointed with Ferrari, but it was wet, wasn't it? Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you share the video and smash a like. It's on ITV as well, apparently, this final as well. So there we go. What are your thoughts on the Tottenham loss today? Yeah, we've already been live today once for the Arsenal-Chelsea game, which was dire, let's be honest. A good win for Arsenal, but a really difficult game to watch. Hopefully this will be better. I think it will be, just simply because of the status of it being a cup final. Spurs lost again. Not actually surprised. I think Fulham are a good side at Craven Cottage, and Spurs have been terrible this season. It's not the shock many people thought it would be, maybe think it should be. And Spurs' priority is going to be the Europa League, isn't it? What did I have to eat, says Football Fanatics? Well, some people might say boring, but I had beans on toast with some coleslaw and some chicken, and it was actually just very nice, and it hit the spot. But it certainly wasn't the KFC I was hoping to get, but I didn't have the time for that. I thought for one lap Lewis could have won, but I forgot his strategy is decided by Ferrari, says Drew. Hoping for a tune Saudi pumping, says Northumberland gent. Players are in the tunnel now. Spurs get this summer back the most expensive young centre-back from loan. Spurs get this summer back the most expensive young centre-back from a loan. Give me the name, Foxhound. Give me the name. Do you think Lewis Skelly will start for England, says Emad? We'll find out next week, I suppose. Well, I can see Carragher's on the screen. What did Carragher say? I'm going to find this out. I mentioned this earlier, and it actually is now the Carabao Cup final. So let me have a look. No, I can't find it. Apparently, somebody was telling me last night, and I can't find the clip, so I can't say anything about it, where apparently he said something along the lines that the Carabao Cup is better than the FA Cup. But I can't find it anyway, so I can't really have a moan about it. Weird some United fans want Newcastle to lose, says Gaz. I think football these days is very subjective anyway, isn't it? I mean, look, I would always want Liverpool to lose, and Liverpool would always want Man United to lose. That's what rivalry's all about, isn't it? There's not really a team I wouldn't want to beat Liverpool, who are in the Premier League. Liverpool Man City would be a little bit of a complex one, but no, Wembley absolutely packed out as well. Players walking out. Do you think Barcelona can win the Champions League, says that Barca fan? I do, but I think that they obviously. I'm not saying they will run out of steam, but there's still a long way to go. What's the drink of choice, says Austin? Last night, Austin, I was drinking Kraken rum, black cherry flavour with vanilla essence, which you can get with Coca-Cola and ice cubes. It was very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Thank you. I don't know who this is, but he's wearing a cap and a suit, which for me always says Pratt. But I presume they might be the sponsors of the Carabao energy drink. But that's a guess. But they're all shaking hands with the players. First silverware of the season. Liverpool will be favourites. They're the heads of Carabao, says Liam. There we go. Are you going to be live for the England game? Next Friday night? Yes, I will do. Yeah, I think it's only right to cover Tuchel's first game. So, yes, we will do that. That's this Friday, isn't it? Yeah. I'm getting lost on my days. It's Sunday, isn't it? We're in London, aren't we? It's Sunday, isn't it? Right, let's get this going. There we go. Jeff says, be careful, they might be martial arts experts, don't call them prats. That's a bit stereotypical that they'd be martial arts experts. And anyway, I'm not going to not say it. I still think if you wear a cap with a suit, you're a prat. That's not an excuse to do some martial arts shit on me, is it? Nick P says, I weirdly don't want Newcastle to win as a United fan, only because their fans of recent years are a bit repulsive. I've got to say I like a lot of Newcastle fans, but I do agree with you, and I haven't said this for a while, I do agree with you that there are on social media some pretty repulsive Newcastle fans who I don't think represent Newcastle fans that well, but certainly on the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can get some pretty horrific thing from them. Yeah. I wanna know whoever told you I was letting go. Don't know why I'm singing Westlife. Okay, I'm just looking at this Carragher thing here. I think the Carabao Cup is midweek night games finished on the night, you know, and also the fact that the competition is a standalone cup final in what we are early March. I always think FA Cup final is fitting with the Premier League, who's going for the title, the Champions League final in the corner. You know what? It sounds terrible, right? I'm happy winning out the FA Cup, and I love the FA Cup. But there's something I was delighted we weren't playing at the weekend against Man City. I said the other week and got battered, but it's people who say that it's reality. Oh God, so what is he basically saying? Trying to make out the Carabao Cup's better. Look, the Carabao Cup is not better than the FA Cup, and any genuine Liverpool fan would agree with that. It's just not true. It's just not true. The Carabao Cup is not better than the FA Cup. Let's just treat it as a cup final that has respect, but it ain't better than the FA Cup. It's as simple as that. You might prefer it to the FA Cup, but the vast majority of intelligent people know that the FA Cup is better than the Carabao Cup. It's simple. I do sort of agree with Carragher, though, that it gets to a point. I don't know whether this was his point, but I've said this before. The thing about the Carabao Cup is because you play it early on in the season, it has value to you because you sometimes need it to get, you know, your fitness up, and you're in the final by February or March normally. Whereas the FA Cup, when that's coming along, you've got Champions League knockout games, you've got title race games, and it can become a bit of a hindrance. The FA Cup can become a bit of a hindrance, but it ain't better than the Carabao Cup. Sorry, the Carabao Cup ain't better than that. There's a guy on Instagram that hasn't cut his hair until United win 5 games in a row. He looks like he has a rug on his head, says Parker. Well, give him a clap and a pat on the head because it's obviously worked and got him a little bit of exposure. Liverpool players are tired and knackered, I think, says Mohammed. And also, I'm telling you, I'll bloody love Newcastle to win this, says NAU. We're about ready to start here. I'm still here on my 4th beer, says DJ. He's enjoying it in his barbecue hut, and he's having a great time. Thank you very much, Nick P, for your super chat as well. Okay, I'm going to say Newcastle are going to lose this 2-0, but I would absolutely love it if they would win. It would be great. Please do share the video and smash a like on the video, and make sure you subscribe to That's Football, our second watch along today. I should be doing a bloody charity stream. I'm doing 3 watch alongs in one day. I think the last time I did this, it was probably the Euros. So Arsenal, Chelsea done. Now it's Liverpool against Newcastle, and I've still got Man United, Leicester to come. The missus is fed up with me and the pints, says Tom. Too much cobble. There we go. Well, it's Sunday, isn't it? Enjoy it. And we're up and running. There we go. There we blow. There we go. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so I've got to adjust my eyes a little bit here. Lots of black and white in the crowd and on the pitch. That's the trouble when you watch Newcastle play. The black and white kit plays havoc with your eyes. Whereas down the Liverpool end, it's more red and it's in the background better. But watch when the ball goes up to the Newcastle end. Oh, it's like, oh. Just got to get adjusted to it. There we go. No Alisson in goal today. I think it's because it's the Carabao Cup and Keller has been the Carabao Cup goalkeeper, hasn't he? Unless any Liverpool fan wants to tell me any different. That's sort of mine assessment of it. Liverpool fans called the Carabao Cup an egg cup when United won it, says Stephen. I tell you what, for Newcastle fans, the Carabao Cup would be like the bloody Champions League. That they would take an egg cup. But I think Newcastle's chance in this game lies in the midfield. Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, Joel Linton, they're good enough as a midfield. I think I think we're watching the two best midfields in the Premier League, actually. Newcastle have their weaknesses, but their midfield is not a weakness. And I think Liverpool's midfield is very good as well. Obviously, you know, I think there'll be people out there going, what about Chelsea? Not Chelsea. What about Arsenal's midfield? But I think Newcastle and Liverpool have probably got the two best midfields for me. That I like. I like the profiles of them as well. And there's a good balance to Bruno G, Joel Linton and Tonali. And, I tell you what, cross came in there. Van Dijk did really well to head it because Isak was unmarked. But now it flips away again. And Szoboszlai does well. That was a good cross, and Van Dijk dealt with it very, very well. Hi, Mark. About the new stadium, do you think if I bring a Man City fan with me, I can park at the handicap? Says Andreas. That doesn't make any sense to me. Here's Diaz down the left-hand side. Trippier, who's been a bit shit this season, wins a free kick. Be careful of Trippier. I've seen him play a couple of games this season, and he's been absolutely dreadful. So let's see what he can do today. There was a lot of mocking when we won Ten Hag. Every other club dreams of it. Hey, you know what? Pep Guardiola's took this tournament seriously for years. I know they haven't won it for a few now, but he has always traditionally took it very seriously. Just checking my stitches. Arsenal midfield is the best. Well, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. Lovely cross. Oh, Harvey Barnes got on the end of it, but it was very hard to direct. But good start from Newcastle, this. Good start. The cup final, this. You know, you've got to pump it up. You know, you write Newcastle off at your peril, Sonny Jim. You really do. I mean, I thought the result they got on Monday against West Ham was very good. Remember, Newcastle are only 1 point off fifth, and they've got a game in hand on Man City and Chelsea. So Newcastle are in a really good position. If Newcastle win their game in hand, they go fourth. So they're having a good season. It's first against potentially fourth. And whilst I think Liverpool are the favourites, let's not pretend that Newcastle are some sort of, you know, Spurs. You've got some very winnable games coming up in the league as well. Brentford at home, Leicester away, United at home, Palace at home. So really could be buzzing their tits off here with Champions League football and a trophy. What a season that would be for Newcastle, you know? You know? Yeah? You know? What a season that would be for Newcastle. A trophy in top 5. Oh, fandabidosi. Any chance United's new stadium might host the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup final in the coming years, considering the intention is to be Wembley of the North, says Asif. Newcastle have got a chance to whip a cross in here. Asif, I would say there's no chance because the contract with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup will be a very long one, and it will be a long one, and it will be at Wembley. Lovely play. Oh, he's unlucky, Harvey Barnes. He's unlucky, Harvey Barnes. He wins a corner, Harvey Barnes. It was lovely play from the corner. I tell you what, it's been a vibrant start by Newcastle. It's been imaginative and it's been daring. But lovely little play here. Tonali to Barnes. And I tell you what, Liverpool just starting off a little bit like they did against PSG and Southampton here. A little bit sluggish. Greetings from America, says DV, from my American friends Tom and Sam. They're confused why Man United fans are rooting for Newcastle to win. Because Liverpool are our biggest rival. Simple as that. Nick Pope runs out. Has the Aussie booked you a flight to jump over a crocodile yet? That video had me in stitches this morning, says Chris. What video is that? Me jump over a crocodile? I don't even know what you're talking about, Chris. You'll have to refresh my memory. Would you take Trippier at United, says Nath? No. And Trippier here has given a free kick. Which it was, yeah. Sandwiched Robertson. Mark, thank you very much. Have you seen Onana? He is ill. I think he's still playing tonight, mate, if that's what you want to talk about. Remember, live on United Stand at 7 o'clock tonight. I tell you what, I was actually quite apprehensive of doing 3 watch-alongs this morning when I woke up after 4 hours sleep and about, quite a lot of rum. But I'm pumping up a little bit here now. Arsenal-Chelsea was a living, boring load of rubbish. But this game started off with a bit of energy, and obviously the United game I'll enjoy because it's my team. Pissing rain here in Toronto, which is great. Getting rid of the filthy snow, which is awful, says Shawnee. Thank you. I'll be happy for Newcastle to win, for my dad especially, says Ian J. White. Lovely message there from Ian. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you give us a share and smash a like and get your comments in. Who's the referee for this game? Oh, forget his name. That's not a bad thing, actually, if I don't know his name. Lovely play by Bruno G. Liverpool at the moment, well, it's not unusual for Arne Slot to do this sometimes, but Liverpool at the moment sort of soaking up the pressure a little bit, looking to counter. That's going to go for a goal kick. John Brooks is his name, Linda. Says Linda. I don't know what's happening with Onana later. I was told earlier that he's back. But that might change. I'm trying to see what the latest is. Yeah, Liverpool tempo at the start of the game has been a little bit slow. Carabao beer. Has anyone had that? I never see this. The only time I ever see this bloody energy drink is when I'm watching a football match. I've never seen it. Never tried it. Never seen it. I think you can get it in certain supermarkets, but who's your favourite to win the F1? Says Saf. I think Norris might win it. Premier League missing the Newcastle Sunderland derby, says Tanishk. Another slow start from Liverpool, says Akshay. Yes. The thing is, though, across a 9-month season, you're always going to have a period where things aren't running as smoothly as maybe they have been. The overarching incredible statement is that Liverpool have actually only lost 1 game. This season. Oh, 2 if you count the game against Plymouth. You can't really count PSG. Well, you can count it, but I mean, it wasn't in normal time, was it? Oh, they lost to PSV as well. Did you see Radcliffe at the F1? Any thoughts, says James? He can do what he likes. He can dance if you want to. Oh, they lost to PSG in 90 minutes, yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, Liverpool, I haven't thought that through. I haven't had lots of sleep. But my point is, Liverpool apparently aren't doing that well at the moment, but you look at it across the season, they're still... My bigger point was going to be, even if you think Liverpool have started off a bit slow, and they're not at their best at the moment, they still don't lose many games. And I feel that Newcastle have got to score first here. I think against Liverpool, you've got to score first because the way they're playing at the moment, Newcastle will feel quite like they've settled into the game well, which they have, but if Liverpool score first, then that just damages Newcastle's confidence, whereas if Newcastle can get the goal first, I'm sure I just saw Kelleher on the bench as a paramedic. Did you spot that? I don't know whether we'll see it again. I'm sure I just saw. Oh, God. Like the worst controller in the world. With FFP, etc., getting new owners doesn't guarantee success anymore, says Matthew. How do you feel Newcastle have done, and do you see big success in the near future? I think they're doing all right, Newcastle. I think that when they got Champions League football, the season after was a bit of a hangover, wasn't it? And I think for Newcastle's model to work, they need to get regular Champions League football. Obviously, they're finding it hard to get the money into the club, so they need to generate the revenue to do that. But if they can win this game today, that's progress. When was the last time Newcastle won a trophy? It was the 60s, wasn't it? And if they can get in the Champions League, I mean, look, the stupid thing is, what's more important to Newcastle fans? Win this today or get in the top 5? I would say the trophy. But to the owners, surely getting into the top 5 is bigger because it's 80 million quid. And that's the sad that's the sad state of football in the modern game. Winning this trophy will be more important to Newcastle fans than getting in the top 5. But for their owners, getting in the top 5 will be far more lucrative in building what they want to build. Liverpool having an attack here. Mo Salah not really done anything in the first 15 minutes. And Newcastle win it again. But Gravenberch does well. Referee wants to give a foul. Did you know that Ineos has a car, says Mr. Starfish? I did. I think it's called the Grenadier. Good day, Mark. I'll be getting my first child, girl, coming in a few weeks. Any advice? Also hoping for a good United win later, says Chev, the engineer. Just to clarify that, fantastic news for Chev and presumably his other half. They're going to have a child. He's not ordering it from Amazon Prime or anything like that. Absolutely great news, mates. And hopefully we will get a win for United later and look forward to being a parent. Fantastic times and enjoy that. Lord McFred says, I reckon Salah and Trent will both leave. What about Van Dijk? Do you think Leicester's going to be an easy game, says Oliver? Define easy. I think we'll get 3 points easy enough. I don't think it'll be like 8-0. I think it'll be like 2-0, but I don't see us not winning. If you're not a car guy, what are your guilty pleasures? Says Parker. Oh no. Too much power on it. Murphy shoots for Newcastle. Wide, high and handsome. Not handsome. What are my guilty pleasures? I don't know, mate. I don't really know. Food, probably. Oh, I tell you what, Kwanzaa there, he did follow through a bit. I've seen a few of those types of tackles today, though. I thought that, I think we do you think maybe we need to get used to the fact that the Premier League has changed a few things this year? Like most games, we're getting like 4 or 5 minutes added on. Last season, it would have been 9 or 10. And I think we've seen a few tackles today that last season might have been reviewed for reds, but they don't do it anymore. So maybe we're getting a bit lighter. How are you today? Going to any concerts this year, says John? I've got my own live show on Wednesday night, mate, in Dublin. And how am I feeling today? Very tired. I had a heavy night last night, but I'm happy to be watching this. And Loco says that could have been a red card for Kwanzaa. You don't, honestly, I want Newcastle to win, but I do not want to see a red card in the first 15 minutes of any game, really. Just as a spectacle, it's crap. I don't even like sending offs. Mark's guilty pleasures money-wise are holidays, pubs and Lego. Have you seen Jamie Carragher saying that the Carabao Cup is better than the FA Cup, says MUFC 21? We were literally talking about it a few minutes ago, and he's talking out his arse. There's no way that the Carabao Cup is better than the FA Cup. It's just factually untrue. He could prefer it if he wants, but it's not true. I think they've both been devalued in recent years because of the money you can make in the Champions League positions. I look, honestly. Oh, no, he's all right. He's all right. What's more in? Oh, Joel Linton's actually got injured there. What's more important, 5th place or the Carabao Cup? 5th place. Yeah, actually, let's do a poll here. Actually. Yeah, McAllister did catch him there. So I'm going to do either or, top 5 or Carabao Cup. What would you rather do? Get into the Champions League or win the Carabao Cup? Now, let me add a little bit of context. If you win the Carabao Cup, it's a piece of silverware and you qualify for the Europa... No, I think you think... No. You qualify for the... No. If you win the Carabao Cup, you get silverware and you qualify for the Conference League. If you get in the top 5, you get no silverware, but you earn about 80 million guaranteed minimum for being in the Champions League. So financially, it shits all over the Carabao Cup. And you're in the Champions League. But you get silverware with the Carabao Cup. And it is the Conference League that you qualify for, unless... Which Newcastle and Liverpool wouldn't be in because they're going to be in, potentially both be in the Champions League anyway. But what do you think of the rule in rugby where for a red that isn't too bad, the team can bring someone else on after 20 minutes, says James. What do you think about that game Rush on EAFC where if you get someone sent off, there's a blue card where they're out for a minute? Good defending there by Trippier. The trouble is, if you brought a blue card into football and say if you got a blue card and you were off the pitch for 10 minutes, all that would happen is that while you were down to 10 men for 10 minutes, they'd just park the bus. Cameron says, long-term, trophies are more important than money. And Jamie Carragher says, the Carabao Cup is better than the FA Cup. Have you seen Supernatural, Mark? Says Mika. No. Did you watch Catch Me If You Can? And you'll be live later tonight, right? Yeah, we're live. Tony Bologna, we're live on the United Stand at 7 o'clock because Leicester are playing Manchester United. I haven't watched Catch Me If You Can. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. What rum were you drinking, Mark? Good choice, says Lucy Swan. I was on the Kraken, and it was black cherry Kraken. Very nice. Good play here, Bruno G. And he's going to win a corner for Newcastle here. Corner, 20 minutes gone. Slow start by Liverpool. Is that the real Jamie Carragher? Of course it's bloody well not. He wouldn't be allowed to watch this. Gary would go mad. Right, Jamie, you're fired. You're fired for being disloyal and watching That's Football with that Mark Goldbridge. We're the overlap. You can't do that. You're fired. You got to do what Gary says. You know that game you used to play as a kid? Simon Says. Well, change the name to Gary. It's Gary Says. Gary says, don't watch That's Football. Free kick. Nothing happened with the corner. Are you going to do any England watch-alongs, Jake? Yes. I can't wait for England to play Latvia and whoever else they're playing. There's Ant. Where's Deck? I presume that's his kids now. Oh, there he is. Deck's there, look. And there's Dick Shearer. Yeah, suddenly I want Liverpool to win. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Have you finished the Lego Jaws? Says CFC Jack. Nate, I don't want to start a little Reddit, but the Jaws boat Lego, just Google the light blue bit on the actual boat. It's a bloody nightmare, and everyone's had a problem with it. There's a design flaw, basically. DJ John says, you're very funny today, Mark. I think you're a bit hungover. Your brain is quick. You're a comedian. You should do stand-up. I'm sorry to miss your show next week. I'll watch it on the United Stand. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. How many cities have you lived in, says Rajaf? Dublin's the only... Well, I didn't even live in Dublin City, actually. I've never lived in a city. Do you think any footballers watch this channel, says Flores? I think some do, yes. Did you see that Aussie zookeeper talk about you challenging a crocodile? No, what's this? What is this story about the Australian zookeeper? Give me the link. This is news to me. Why does he think... Why am I being linked to a crocodile? Have I said something in the past? Good play. Harvey Barnes into Isak. He's too wide. He's too wide. But he's still got it. Edge of the box. You've got to get a shot off Tonali. Greedy. Too greedy. We're all intrigued about this Aussie zookeeper now, because that's the second story we've had about it. You said that you would jump over a crocodile and you could beat a crocodile in a fight. Well, I must have had a drink. I could definitely jump over a crocodile. Are you streaming the show in Dublin? Not live streaming, no. We should get Van Dijk to United, says Agam. Thank you very much, Flores. Thank you very much. Raphael says Newcastle have got a chance to win here. Ollie's iPad says, can you ship me to Turkey and send Karaki too? Good play by Bruno G. I think you're offside there, Murphy. I think he's offside. That's what Van Dijk wants, but it's not been given. Or has it? Yeah. Cara says, I think Jota's finished. Best England player in your lifetime, says Gaz Wilson. Probably Gaza. Yeah. Liverpool, no shots and no shots on target and no corners yet. But really, really slow start from Liverpool. Corner from Newcastle. Dan Burn. Oh, why didn't he? Couldn't get it out of his feet, Bruno G. And Kelleher has hold of it. Yeah, just couldn't get it out of his feet. Here is Jota into Diaz. McAllister looking to find Salah. They'll clear that. I think you can take on a crocodile, I believe. Where is this clip? I'm gonna have to watch it. Thoughts on game winner changed yet, says that Barca fan. No, I still think Liverpool have got the know-how, and every Liverpool fan will agree with this, that Slot has a very good way of making his team be better in the second half. Sarah says, I think Liverpool are just knackering Newcastle out. Oh, be careful. Good recovery tackle there. Kanate. Kwanzaa and Kanate sort of getting stuck. And Isak was running away there. That could have been a chance. Right, I'm going to actually... I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to stand up for a little bit. Can't sit down for 3 watch-alongs. Liverpool look beatable, says Cruiser. It's a free kick. Trippier. Do you think Liverpool are knackered, says Daniel? Well, I think that... Well, when did they play the PSG game? That was Tuesday, so they've had 5 days. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether you'd be knackered, because if they beat PSG, you're still in the Champions League, aren't you? So I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of a hangover, but I've seen them play a couple of times recently, Liverpool, and look, both PSG games they weren't at their best. I give credit where it's due. PSG deserved to go through, albeit on penalties, but I don't think Liverpool have been at their best for a while now. But you got to find a way. And they've won a corner here. Can be very dangerous from corners. So where Newcastle have got to stay switched on. Good header away by Joel Linton. They still got it. And throw into Liverpool. Sorry, I just lost my live chat there. Thoughts on the Alvarez penalty incident, says Tapping Merchant. I think we've all moved on from it, but it was very, very harsh. Very, very harsh. Prawn Crackers says, rank the... Oh, what a ball to Diaz. Pope came out, and he was offside anyway. Rank these midfielders in order of underrated. Park Ji-sung, Mikel Essien, and... I would say... I don't think Michael that's sort of thrown me a little bit. I don't think that Michael Essien was underrated or underappreciated, to be honest. I think he was probably just from a period gone by, you know. Good play by Tonali. Wins another corner. Jack Lynch says it was a saltwater crocodile. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about here. Parker says no Dublin live. Is it only for match-going fans? I don't know what you're talking about. Thoughts on League One allowing PSG to cancel their game against Nantes in between our ties? Will the Premier League allow us to do it? I think not, says Yes Lads UTV. Well... Yeah, I mean, that is very interesting. I hadn't heard that, but effectively the French League allowing PSG to postpone a game to focus on the Champions League would never happen in the Premier League, no. Headed away by Van Dijk. He's having a good game. Say what you like about others, but Van Dijk's had a good game. Kelleher comes for a cross, doesn't get it, and that'll be a goal kick anyway. Bit of an incident going on here between Trippier and Diaz. Trying to see what the ref's doing. So Diaz goes up for a header and Trippier gives him a bit of an elbow, but not a bit of a shove, but not. No, I don't really see what the point of that is. The Aussie bloke is called Croc Turnbull. And what's he saying? Where is he? Where is this guy? Where do I find him? Does he want some? He's got no ground. Prawn crackers. I actually don't know what you're talking about. So, no Dublin live. I've done that one as well, and cross comes in. Oh, Isaac, Trippier, block. Tell you what, they're knocking on the door a little bit here, Newcastle. They're knocking on the door a little bit, but I tell you what, it's like a big locked door at the moment. They can't create the chance. But it is another corner. They need to put good quality cross in here. Kelleher straight at Kelleher. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it.
Suck me off with a yabby pump, mate. You got no chance. I mean, you're like a British version of Andy Dick. Anyway, I'm interested in see what technique you're going to use to beat up a crocodile, because I really want to know. I'm invested. Hit me with it, big fella.
And people will say, wow, they are... Oh, so I've got some bloody Poundland Mick Dundee making a video about how he reckons I wouldn't be able to deal with a crocodile. I don't know whether... I don't think a sense of humour has travelled down under, has it? By the sounds of it. He's called Croc Turnbull. I'll tell you what, I'll call him a B-Tech Mick Dundee. I couldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else, mate. Have you ever seen Crocodile Dundee? That's what he looks like. I'll watch it properly later. Bloody hell, mate. I'd bloody love to see you come down to Australia and see what you're going to do with a bloody crocodile. What happens, I'll go down there with a big shotgun and blow its bloody head off. Now, I'm not going to do that because that would get me in trouble with the RSPCA or whatever it is in Australia. But, you know, acting all tough because you've got some crocodile down there. I've written a book. What have you done? Arsenal should hire Frank if they do fire Arteta, says Enchanted Angel. Why are Arsenal sacking Arteta? They're still in the Champions League and they won again today. Why are Arsenal sacking Arteta? Why wouldn't you say Spurs should get Frank when they sack Ange? Good play, Bruno G. It's a weird pass. I think Newcastle just need to calm down a little bit here. They've had a good first half, but Liverpool can only get better. Good play, Joel Linton. Yeah, good play. Why is the referee? I think the referee is slowing this game down a little bit. I'd like to see it flow a little bit. Thank you, Scottish JH. Crocodile Dundee is a good film, actually. Not seen it for years. Is he still alive or did he die? By the looks of it, he's doing TikToks. No, he's not the real one. I think he died, didn't he? Paul Hogan. No, he's still going. He's still here. As of 5 o'clock on the 16th of March, he's still here. When did we agree to you having a gun, Mark? Says Omar. See, some people just take it too seriously. Normal Arsenal fans like Arteta ignore it, says Connor Jackson. Marino with more Premier League goals than Rasmus, says Tapping Merchant. Mate, I can't... there are probably places that accommodate low IQ conversations like that, but it's so 2018 to start, oh, look, Marino's got more goals than this. You know, this is, what's the context? Man United are absolutely shit, and Marino... what's happened? I saw Joel Linton throws a bit of an arm there. I don't feel he actually connected with him. Oh no, and then Sabozlai gets a bit on the head. Game's a bit boring, says Mohammed. I think it started off well. It would have been much better if Newcastle had scored. I still think that Liverpool will win this, yeah. Speaking of Australia, you seem that selfish woman separating a baby wombat from its mother for views. Disgusting. Oh, people do a lot for views, mate. I actually did see that, yeah. Is this the worst team since Leicester to win the Premier League, says Phil? Well, I think Liverpool... Oh, good play by Trippier. He wanted a handball there, Luis Diaz. I think people forget that Liverpool were very good at the start of the season. You know, I remember when Liverpool played Man City at Anfield in December. Liverpool did a lot of the... I think Liverpool won the title by Christmas anyway. I think they'd accumulated the points they needed to. So I don't think they're a bad side. Oh God, I'm starting to feel a bit rough now. Another ball through. 40 minutes. Does desperately need a goal this game. Trippier's going through the wars a little bit. Salah's gone missing, says Jamie. I can't stand those challenges on people that are in the air and they have no intention of playing the ball. Should be a yellow. It's a bad injury, 100%, says Crispy Lad. Thanks for your super chat, pal. 0 shots in 40 minutes from Liverpool, by the way. Oh, Omar says, I didn't take it seriously, Mark. I just wanted to see you fist fight a crocodile instead of using a gun. A gun isn't a fair fight. Oh, you're definitely taking it seriously, thinking I was going to actually have a fist fight with a crocodile, though, aren't you? Did you complete Red Dead Redemption 2, Mark? Says the game is the game. No. Twice I've tried to complete that game, and twice my PS5 has lost the bloody file. So I'm not doing it again. "42 minutes. Some people say it should have been a handball by Trippier. Do you think you could beat up a sloth, says Gaz? Well, they're asleep a lot of the time, aren't they? Isak doesn't look like he's on it, says Ryan. He has had an injury, hasn't he? Well, I tell you what, you've got to say, though, Liverpool are defending well. They might not be at their best, but they are defending well here. I think Van Dijk's had a good game. City and Arsenal being poor has made it easier, says Channel of Chucky. Have you and Seb played the new WWE game yet? Is it out, Owen? You need another alcohol, Mark, says Pete. I'm not doing any more alcohol till Dublin now. I need a clear head for the next couple of days. I've got loads to organise for that show and stuff. So clean. I'm going clean for a couple of days. My next drink's going to be a Guinness in Dublin. That's a crap cross as well. Goal kick. When is FIFA career mode coming back, says Dylan? Not sure, mate. Not sure. Hopefully soon. Why do you hate Spurs so much? I didn't even know I did. Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish. Louis says the new WWE game is like 400 gigabytes. You should try Bloodborne or Elden Ring, says Master Fit for Bitcoin. Thank you very much. Slippy G was in the audience yet. I mean, this is going to be 0-0 at half time. You can see them all going up the steps. Go and get their bloody prawn sandwiches. People are very violent today. Toxic Sunday. Another one. Which Premier League manager do you think you could take on in a fight? I'm not a violent person. Harvey Barnes. Corner. I've had enough bloody corners from Newcastle. How many corners have they had? This is corner 6. Another corner. Need a bloody goal. Can we have a goal? Dan Burns a unit. Goal! Dan Burn! What? The timing! The timing from Goldbridge! Dan Burn's a unit! Goal Dan Burn! That's a goal! And it's Newcastle who've scored. And I tell you what, where he heads it from, really, if there's a man on the post, it won't be a goal. But there's nothing Kelleher can do. He gets it low. He's from quite far out. I mean, it's one of those corners where it's sort of hung up a bit. He's just gone boom. Get in. 1-0. Watch it back. You know, when he goes to head it, you don't actually think he can get that sort of power on it. But why is there no man on the post? I don't know. Look how far out Dan Burn is here. He's miles out. Yeah, I don't know. That is a long way out to be heading that. Get some right neck muscles on that, like a giraffe. Look how far out he is as well. I think maybe Alisson saves that, you know. It's the ball goes a long way. But it's such a good header and it's so powerful. And those people are saying maybe Kelleher could save it. You know what I think? I actually don't think he can save it. Because you know what I think? If that was a free shot from that position into the bottom corner, I don't think it would go in. So I don't think you'd save it. Should 5th place of the Champions League go to the FA Cup winners if they don't European football if UEFA allow it? No, I think top 5 for the Premier League is more worthy of a Champions League spot than winning the FA Cup. It's less games for the FA Cup. You could have an easy run in the FA Cup. Are you sad that Spurs beat United 3 times, says Malik? I don't acknowledge your comment, mate, because I am not in a rivalry with Spurs and never will be. Would you rather fight a bear or a gorilla, says Hugh? Either way, I'm done. Well, love it, just after they showed Gerrard on the screen, says Stuart. Hey, Newcastle are worthy of this winner, this lead at half-time. Liverpool have been really poor. And Diaz. Oh no! Jota. God, missed it. Liverpool's best chance of the game, and Jota put it wide. Yeah, they deserve to be in front at half-time, Newcastle. Nobody can argue about that. And Liverpool are going to have to... It sort of plays into Newcastle's hands now to play a bit counter-attack with Isak. Keith has gifted a membership. Keith Robinson, thank you very much. Kieran Parsons is here, just tuned in, saw the goal. Do Newcastle deserve it, or is it against the run of play? Also, how boring was our game against Chelsea? Yeah, your game was very boring. It's half-time here. It's 1-0. I'm going to sit down. I'll stand up in the second half again. And, well, I really should have got you out earlier. Here it is. Ball in hand. Forgot I had that. Genuine Carabao Cup ball. The one that Dan Burn just headed in. They've just sent it me. But, no, look, Newcastle very worthy for that lead at half-time. I mean, stats can lie. They can, well, they don't lie. They're not human. But stats are stats. But they don't always tell the true picture is what I was going to say. And I think that when we look at that half, statistically, probably does tell the story of the game. Newcastle have had 9 shots, 3 on target and 6 corners. Liverpool have had 1 shot and 1 corner and nothing on target. There is no justification for Liverpool fans, and Kieran, I do that for your benefit and anybody else who's tuning in just for half-time. There is no justification to say that Liverpool don't deserve to be losing at half-time. They absolutely do. Newcastle have been the better side, and they're worthy of the 1-0 lead. And I thought Liverpool would win. I still think they can win, but they're going to have to change it up. And I think this goal changes the whole dynamic of the game, because if Liverpool keep it at 0-0 or they score first, it's going to obviously damage Newcastle's mentality and approach. The confidence they've got now is that they are actually beating Liverpool, and the confidence they've got with that is that they actually deserve to be beating Liverpool and they're the better team. So I think that scoring first was absolutely essential for Newcastle if they were to be going to get anything out of the game today, this afternoon. And it's very exciting. And I think Newcastle fans have got every right to be excited, because Liverpool are going to have to be a very different team in the second half. I don't know why Liverpool aren't a better team than they are at the moment. I think they have been a very good team this season. But is it fatigue? Is it tiredness? Because that midfield is still McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, and it looks very low on impetus. That front three of Diaz, Jota and Salah is still a very good front three, but it looks low on creativity. I actually think Van Dijk's had a good game for them because they have been defending a lot. I think Konate's had a good game. But look, people might have a go at Kelleher on the goal. I personally think the power that Burn gets on that, if you imagine that that was a shot, you'd probably think it was going to go in. So he gets a lot of power on it. It's in the bottom corner. I do think there's a case to say that Alisson might have saved it, but Alisson's one of the world's best goalkeepers. So I think I wouldn't be too harsh on the goalkeeper there. It's just a very good header by Dan Burn, and it's what Newcastle deserve, and it's probably what Liverpool deserve based on that half. But there's still a lot of time to go. And as we know, Arne Slot has this season many times turned a performance around at half-time. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. 17,000 of you. I am on the United stand straight after this for Man United's game against Leicester as well. But if you're new to That's Football, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we're only 200 away from 312,000. Daily content on here for everybody. You're all welcome. So, half-time changes. What could Liverpool do? Well, what Liverpool could do in a bench sense is probably, 0 to hero maybe. Maybe you bring Darwin Núñez on. He's on the bench. Gakpo's on the bench. Chiesa's on the bench. Harvey Elliott's on the bench. Curtis Jones is on the bench. So they have got changes in that midfield and the attack. And I think they might have to make one because I actually do think that Diaz, Jota and Salah is Liverpool's best front three. But on this performance today, there is clearly something wrong. And you know, whether... I mean, I don't watch Liverpool enough, but would you be thinking about Curtis Jones in the midfield as well? They need to get something going. They're relying too much on a player who's fasting, says the Monstradamus. And would you rather fight a cobra chicken or a snake with hairy armpits? Okay, Trizzy. I don't even know what a cobra chicken is. Is it a chicken with a cobra head by any chance? Keith Robinson, thank you very much for saving me. Stuart says, love it, just after they showed Gerrard. We did have a poll going on, actually, about whether you'd rather win the Carabao Cup or get top 5. 43% of you said that you would rather win the Carabao Cup, and then top 5 was 57% that won out. I mean, I didn't really know which way that was going to go, actually. But I've got to be honest, if it was me today, if United were offered top 5 or the Carabao Cup, I'd take top 5. And that's sad. That is really sad. And I put my hands up and say, yeah, it is sad, because I'm turning down a trophy for 5th place in the league. But that's what football's become. And 5th place in the league will get you in the Champions League. And being in the Champions League will earn you a shitload more money. And a shitload more money will allow you to buy better players. And better players will make you a better team. That would be the hope anyway. So that's just the world that we operate in at the moment. But I'd take 5th place over the Carabao Cup, yeah. Which is sad. But I think a lot of Newcastle fans wouldn't. They want a trophy. When you have... Look, Man United won the Carabao Cup a couple of years ago. We've won it a few times. Newcastle haven't won anything since the 60s, so of course they would want that. And Mohit says that's why Dan Burn has been called up to England. He's great at those bullet headers. A proper set-piece threat. He's massive, isn't he? I'm just watching it again here. I mean, he's a hell of a unit, and nobody's really marking him either. I mean, Alexi McAllister's the guy who's sort of left with him. Yeah, he's following the man, not the ball. But yeah, it's a great header. Great header. Liverpool been rubbish for the last month. Why is that? Says NAU. Tune it up, says the Barca fan. Just looking at it again. I think if Kelleher dives at full stretch straight away, he saves it. But if you look at Kelleher, if it had dived like that, hand out, I think he thought it might be going wide. So he didn't dive. But looking at the goalkeeper there, if he'd have actually just dived full stretch, I think he'd have saved it. But I think he hesitated a little bit. It was wrong-footed, says Vaughan. I think Slot has lost it for the last few games. Hopefully it is temporary, says John. Look, they're going to win the league. Liverpool are going to win the league. That's not in doubt. You will win the league. But it'll be interesting to see what subs Liverpool make at half-time. Right. Let me just do that there. He was a bit unsure, says Louise. Hi, Mark. Can you do a poll on win the Champions League or Club World Cup? Oh, come on. Oscar, don't waste my time. Absolute knobhead comment, that. What are you talking about? Club World Cup. It hasn't even got the 2 best teams in the world in it. Barcelona and Liverpool aren't even going to be in it. Liverpool couldn't attack, though. The fire on Newcastle players is different. And it's not contrary. Liverpool won the league. If they play like this, Mark says it's not, mate. They're definitely winning the league. Come on, let's not live in a dream world. They're definitely going to win the league. What, they got 12 points clear of Arsenal with 9 games to go. Considering the biggest gap that's ever been done in the Premier League was 12 points between Man United and Newcastle, and that was in January. And you think in April, Arsenal are going to claw back a 12-point gap? Not going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen. We can all scaremonger, but Liverpool are winning this title. Was the Trippier incident a penalty? I missed it, says Arthur Morgan. Red Dead Redemption 2 shout out. A lot of people are saying it was a penalty. I'm just going to run it as a poll. Should Liverpool have had a penalty? I actually think that Arsenal should have had a penalty this afternoon for the Cucurella incident. And therefore, if I'm being consistent, I mean, I've seen the images of it, but they haven't shown a replay of it at half time, have they? I mean, looking at the images of where it's hit his hand, you can justify saying that's a handball. What I will say is, and I've said it for quite a while now, I don't think that I can't tell you what a handball is, basically. So, yeah. Matthew says, winning the league is a huge success, especially in the first season. But if that's all they win, it's a slightly disappointing season, says Matthew. Oh, I don't know. Look, we're halfway into a game that Liverpool can still get back into. Obviously, getting knocked out of the Champions League was probably quite disappointing. But I do think that winning the league for Liverpool will be very big for them. I don't think it's going to be disappointing. I think if you said to any Liverpool fan at the start of the season, do you want to win the Premier League but lose the Carabao Cup final to Newcastle and get knocked out of the Champions League by PSG, they'd take it. They'd take it. But when you're in the moment, obviously it's going to be disappointing. But when they've got that Premier League title, I don't think anything else will matter. But this game's not over anyway. I mean, the worst thing you want to do is start writing Liverpool off. They've only need to score one goal and then it's game on, isn't it? And you can have the momentum then. It's a dangerous scoreline for Newcastle. Like, they're probably going to play a little bit. The thing is, Liverpool have had no attacks in this game really at all. And Newcastle are probably going to sit back now, which means they will invite pressure. And then if Liverpool score, who's got the momentum? So how Newcastle play this next 20 minutes, I think, is going to dictate this final. Do you sit back and counter, which is good when you've got someone like Isak? But Liverpool aren't creating anything. So do you want to invite them to, I think I'd try and be a little bit more on the front foot. Keith Robinson says, for a single man live streamer, you do an incredible job. What do you think about Potter at West Ham so far? Potter, I think in relation to Potter, he is Potter. I think that Potter is going to have to be given till next season, really. His style of football is going to be very different to David Moyes and Lopetegui. And he's going to need to be given his own players, isn't he? So I think from Potter's point of view, it genuinely is on thebeach.com, isn't it? You're going to have a lot of players that are thinking about next season and he'll be building for that. So I wouldn't really be judging him yet, which is why I think Leicester should keep Van Nistelrooy till next season as well. We need to risk it and play Chiesa. Mo Salah is very tired with Ramadan, says Jay. And Liverpool's been rubbish past month. Why is that? Says NAU. Thank you very much. Mark, on July 30th, United is going to play in Chicago. I'm taking my youngest sister and she's excited to see Garnacho. But I told her not to get her hopes up because our club wants to sell him, says Louis. You got a good chance that he'll still be at the club. Newcastle, choose your friends wisely, Potter. Newcastle United are on a title charge, and everyone that thought that they weren't favourites are the ones that should let us know a bit of their bull knowledge, as it's called football. Okay. You're definitely not in a title charge. And hi, Mark, can you do a poll of the win the Euros or win the Champions League? And maybe I'll do that in a moment. We've got a poll at the moment where Liverpool, should they have had a penalty? 66% of you say no. They're about to show it now. Liverpool penalty claim. Oh, I need to see this in the slow-mo. Yeah, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. Look what he does. Then again, it's a faint touch. I still think it's a penalty, though. I mean, I think it's a penalty, and then I say I don't think it's a penalty because he faintly touches it. But is that actually... I don't think that's a rule. He doesn't know anything about it either, does he? I mean, I don't know the rule. I don't know the rule. He definitely hits his hand. I don't think it matters whether he hits it slightly or not. I'd say they aren't giving it because... I don't know. I don't even understand the handball rule anymore because I've seen handballs, you know, De Ligt. What was that De Ligt one against Liverpool, was it? That was accidental. His hand was in an unnatural... I suppose his hand's not in an unnatural... I don't know. The honest answer is, with that, I can understand why Liverpool fans would want it, and I can understand why Newcastle fans would say it's not a penalty. But if it was at the other end, I think Liverpool fans would say it's not a penalty, and Newcastle fans would. I think that's sometimes the way I look at it. I don't look at it with the tinted glasses of, I don't want it to be a penalty because I want Liverpool to lose. But if you're a Newcastle fan saying it's not a penalty, then obviously what I would say is, if it was at the other end, you would want it. Look at the amount of empty seats at Wembley at half-time when the game started. Look, it's disgusting. Look at that. That's what football's become. Corporate, not in their seats for the start of the game. Wouldn't happen with me. Thank you very much for your super chat. Jason says, I'm a Liverpool fan, not a penalty. There you go. And 66% of you said not. It would have been very harsh on Newcastle, though, because it was 0-0 at that point. And it would have been very lucky for Liverpool. Dan Burn with another big header all the way back to Kelleher. So will we see a different Liverpool the second half? Well, if we don't, they're going to lose. No changes at half-time. Ooh. Diaz is having an off game as well. Mame says Liverpool are looking very tired. I think the ominous thing for Newcastle is that that's a lovely ball by Van Dijk. Is that is a lovely bit of play and lovely covering by Joel Linton. Van Dijk looks like he's having a good game, and obviously he's such an influential player for Liverpool, captain as well. I think they've missed Trent as well. Obviously Kwanzaa's a decent young player, but he's no Trent. I presume Bradley's injured as well, isn't he? You can see that Newcastle definitely have stepped back 20 metres, maybe 10. Liverpool finding it a lot easier to get to edge of Newcastle's box. Weren't getting anything like this in the first half, but obviously Newcastle, predictably, were probably going to do that. They've got the goal, invite the pressure and look to counter. Joel Linton's having a very good game. Cad's Crew says, Liverpool fans called it the Mickey Mouse Cup when we won it 2 seasons ago, and I don't think they care about it. Cheers, Mark from Maryland, USA, says Hardeep. Hope you're doing very well. What do you use to watch the Premier League, says Bad? It's on Sky. Comment coming in here. Liverpool are absolutely rubbish, says Reggie. How are you losing to this team who haven't even got Anthony Gordon? Well, I think Harvey Barnes has had a good game. That midfield is very good. That defence is well organised. Look, Newcastle haven't got Botman, Lewis Hall and Anthony Gordon, but at this stage of the season, you probably wouldn't expect to have your full team ready either. Here is Harvey Barnes down the left-hand side. Done well. Wins a corner. Plenty of corners. Names for this trophy: Carabao Cup, Worthington Cup, Coca-Cola Cup, Littlewoods Cup, Rumbelows Cup, Milk Cup, Carling Cup. I think it was the Carling Cup at one point, wasn't it? That's got to be most of them. Milk, Littlewoods, Rumbelows, Carling, Worthington, Coca-Cola, Carabao. Was the Capital One Cup as well. Yeah, it was actually sponsored. Oh my God! Goal! They've done it! 2! Offside. Isak's offside. He's not happy. He's not happy. But trying to see Joel Linton. He might not be offside. He might not be offside here. They've got to VAR it, but he might not be offside. He's on. He's going to be on. That's onside. That's 2-0. Unless they say Bruno G is interfering, but I don't think he can be because the keeper saves it. I'm just wondering if they're going to overrule it, and they have. I don't know how. Yeah, they've said that Bruno G was interfering with play. How can he be interfering with play when the keeper saves it? How can he be interfering with play when Kelleher saves it? That's it. I'm sorry. I think that's an embarrassing bit of officiating because Bruno Guimaraes doesn't do anything. He stood in front of the goalkeeper, but he doesn't do anything, and the keeper makes the save. And if Bruno Guimaraes wasn't there, Kelleher's not going to make a better save than that. But justice! 2-0! Isak! There is justice here on toast. Isak has scored anyway. Forget what I was just moaning about. It's irrelevant. Liverpool should have been doing a kickoff from being 2-0 down. So anyway, they are 2-0 down now. Isak, 2-0. And I tell you what, this could be heaven for Newcastle. The fog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. Well, it's not mine. It's theirs. And Newcastle lead 2-0. Gazza's getting the Carling. Get in. Well done. Well, I tell you what, the worrying thing for Liverpool is not only is it 2-0, but you just conceded what looked like a legitimate goal just before that. It gets chalked off, and then you follow it up by conceding again, and more worryingly with this one, how many goals do Liverpool concede like this? Cross into the box. Robertson beat in the air. Lovely play. What a knockback by Murphy as well. Think about these goals for Newcastle is they're so clean as well. Like that's actually meant. The way he nods it down there for Isak is absolutely brilliant. And then the finish. You don't see many goals like that. That is such good link-up play from Murphy and Isak, and 2-0. Well, 2-0, one of the most dangerous scorelines in football, they say. But Liverpool are going to have to push hard now. The second half should be very interesting now. Surely Slot's got to make some changes here. Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones, maybe even Darwin Nunez. He's got to start making some changes. Salah does look tired. The Newcastle fans are loving this. How many pancakes does it take to get to the moon, says Terzi. Don't know. Is the quadruple still on for Liverpool, says Amug. Cad says, come on, Newcastle. Where is Salah in all this, says Angel. I mean, it is Ramadan, mate, to be honest. It's, you know, he is fasting, so... But also, fasting or not, that I don't know the impact of that. Obviously, there is an impact, but what I would also say is that he is one player, and here comes Curtis Jones and Darwin Nunez, as I said. Got to make changes. Nearly 20,000 watching. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can hit 313,000. Not signing players really catching up with Liverpool, says Joe. Newcastle looking to win their first trophy since, what? 60 what? 1960 something. $1955, not even 60s, bloody hell, 1955. 80 years. 80 years. They're crying. Is there a twist in the tail? Jota comes off, he's had a bad game. Doesn't look himself. Well, I mean, it does look like Jota, but what I mean is, he's not playing well. Darwin Nunez coming on, and I would say he'll take Szoboszlai off, I would say. No, Konate. Konate for Curtis Jones. Are they going 3 at the back? Talk to me, Liverpool fans. What's he doing here, then? Gravenberch, centre-back? Yeah. Gravenberch has gone centre-back. Isaac is going to be heading to Barcelona with Lewandowski getting of age. We are seeing one of the best strikers on the planet. Enjoy it, says Mohit. And Daniel Svensson says, what do you think? I think Newcastle can win the league next season, and I'm not lying. They're very good. Imagine if they get 2 or 3 players more. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I mean, look, Newcastle fans ain't going to be interested in that, Daniel. They're just going to be interested in getting through the next 35 minutes and winning their first trophy in 80 years. And then maybe getting in the Champions League through their league form. But look, I know Newcastle are rich through Saudis, but they're not rich in relation to revenue. So I don't know what they can buy in the summer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Liverpool were actually really good. Was Liverpool actually that good this season? Or were other teams bad and Liverpool were consistently decent, says Mrs. Stone. No, I mean, look, I think Liverpool up until Christmas were a very good side whenever I saw them. But obviously Man City have fell off this year. I think Arsenal haven't been as good as they could have been. And there is an element of truth of what you're saying, that Liverpool have been the best of the rest. I mean, they've only lost 1 game in the Premier League. But if you were watching this game today and you knew nothing about league position, you'd say Newcastle are the better team. Which is crazy, really. That's how good their performance has been. Do you think Liverpool are going to get back into it? No, I don't. I genuinely don't. And look, I know that might get some Newcastle fans excited, but look at the stats. They've not had a shot on target. They're not playing well. I think it's very rare in football you see a comeback when you've played this bad. Curtis Jones! What a save by Nick Pope. I nearly got shut up there. Big save. It was sort of straight at him, but he had to use his arm. And now Tonali's down. He's hurt. No, I don't see a Liverpool way back here. They've played so badly that it's hard to see. Tonali's down injured here. He's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. Nearly 20,000 legends watching here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This week's hurting me more than breakup a couple of weeks ago, says Jay. Their season seems very Leicester-like, says Mrs. Stone. Sharon Stone makes a good point, says M. Parker. Thank you very much for your comments. Cross coming in from McAllister. Look, if Liverpool can get one back, as I say, obviously 2-0 lead's better than 1-0, but if you got one back, Newcastle get nervous. But there's also, as I say, you've got to give respect to Newcastle. They're the better team. We're all talking about whether Liverpool can come back. Why would you assume Newcastle's levels are going to drop? Their mentality seems absolutely on point. But Liverpool are starting to go up a little bit here. Pope punches it away. Just realised I've got to set up the United Stand stream in a minute. I want to know whoever told you I was letting go. Crying. Too soon. Too soon. Oh, lovely header. And Nick Pope gets hold of it. Darwin Nunez is on the pitch. Could be a hero if he can get them back into this. The thing is, though, Newcastle are not actually the sort of team that concede goals, are they? I mean, they've got quite a good defence, is what I'm trying to say. They don't hemorrhage lots of goals. You'd be disappointed, though. If you're Slot, you'd be disappointed. If Liverpool play, you'd be disappointed. Fans, you'd be disappointed because there's just been nothing in this game, has there? There's not been any fight. There's not been any fire. Anana starts for Man United, by the way. He's not injured. Lindelof, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Heaven, Andelo, Agate, Ericsson, Bruno. Garnacho. And I'm trying to think. We're not playing a striker then. No, Rasmus is playing. Oh! Could have been 3. Could have been 3. Xerxes on the bench. Obi Martin's on the bench. Mount's on the bench. Casemiro's on the bench. Collier's on the bench. Amas, me, Harrison, and Fredrickson. This is what I mean. Newcastle ain't going to stop. They've just had another good chance here. Lovely ball into Isak. He would have been offside. No, he wouldn't. What a save by Kelleher. Could we be witnessing a Liverpool implosion, says Alex. Xerxes benched. I'm happy he gets a rest, says Mrs. Stone. I think all the teams in the Premier League are actually pretty crap. That's why it's very, very, very competitive. They're not that great, says Abraham. I'd like to revisit that comment, Abraham, next month when we see what happens between Real Madrid and Arsenal and PSG and Aston Villa. If both those teams get done over, then you might be onto something. But I'm not convinced that the Premier League is just a load of crap teams. I think it's a very competitive league. Is Tonali the best Italian midfielder since Pirlo? Says the game is the game. I don't know. They've got some good midfielders. I like Barella. I'm rooting for Newcastle to get top 5, says Mahit. It will be beyond special to see Pep and City languishing in the Europa League. And Robin says, Newcastle don't play the most intricate tactics. They do the basics really well, and that's what makes them effective. You've got to watch the show Severance, says Move Maniac. And I think Newcastle... Do you think Newcastle can keep hold of Bruno and Isak? Says Ross McRae. I think it'd be hard. Vaughan, welcome to Members Club. Appreciate that. If you are Klopp, are you disappointed by this? Says Brian. Joel Linton's down injured here. I think Isak's down injured here. That's that Dan Burn header. Should Pope be in the England squad? Probably. This is all going to go out of time, though. You're not eating up the clock here, Newcastle. He's played the game. He's not stupid. Is Isak coming off? Can't afford to lose it. Gakpo's coming on. They can't afford to lose Isak now or ever. All this without Anthony Gordon as well. I mean, I think that is a really big... Alexis McAllister's coming off. That's a really... He's had a bad game. Well, it's not had a bad game. They've just not got... I don't think anybody's had a good game for Liverpool. But they're still in it. And now it's a breakaway for Newcastle. It's a 2 versus... Well, it could be a 3 versus 2, but there's big pace here. Tonali goes wide. Isak. He's overhit that. That's a shame. They've missed the boat there. But it was a breakaway, and they're going to be on. And that could have been key. Isak's back on. That's the big thing. Thoughts on United team, Mark, says Matthew Frost. Genuinely forgot Salah was on the pitch, says Aaron. I'm looking forward to the United game. I'll look forward to it a lot more if Liverpool don't win. Always nice to see your rivals struggle, as I'm sure they've enjoyed us struggling. They've just got a bit of game management now from Newcastle. I wouldn't slow it down too much. You don't want 10 minutes added on at the end. But, you know, take your time, break up the play, free kicks. Extra few seconds on that. You know, break Liverpool's morale, make them impatient. But as I said to you a few minutes ago, here we go. Harvey Barnes. Oh, Van Dijk stops the cutback. That would have been 3. And there again, Murphy. He's going to shoot himself. Oh, just wide. They're rampant here. They're absolutely rampant. They're not letting up. I just don't see it. As I said a few minutes ago, I don't see a way back for Newcastle. For Liverpool, I just don't see it. I think Newcastle look more likely to score again. Still the better team. Liverpool just not being able to exert their authority. Here's Gakpo. Easy catch for Pope. Catch in practice. Liverpool have had 1 shot on target. I don't know why Slot didn't start Gakpo. He's got 16 goals and 5 assists this season, says Nigel. Yeah, I think it's a fair point. I mean, Liverpool fans would know more than we would, but I actually thought Gakpo was considered a starter, but I haven't. Obviously, he's only coming on with 20 minutes to go. Pope or Isak for man of the match, says Kevin. I think that's a little bit simplistic, really. I really do. I mean, what about Dan Burn? I mean, he's had a very good game. He's on that side of the pitch where Salah is. Him and Livramento. He's got a goal. He's won everything in the air. Joel Linton's been very good as well. Bruno G's been very good. I think this is Newcastle under Eddie Howe, though, isn't it? It's the team. This has not been a performance individualistically by Newcastle. To a man, they've worked incredibly hard as a team. And Liverpool have been overwhelmed. Sorry, I'm just turning the heating down. I'm getting hot. Newcastle are heating the place. Oh, it's a free kick to Newcastle here. Liverpool will clear that. Well, I say clear it. The clearance isn't going to be good enough, is it? Looks like Chiesa and Harvey Elliott are coming on as well. Could it be Salah coming off? Surely will be Salah coming off. That's a bad ball as well. Redundant. They've been redundant, haven't they? Redundant of ideas today. Comfortably second best. And I presume this is going to be Salah coming off. I can't see who else he would take off. 14. Gravenberch. Let's go 3 at the back. Diaz, Luis Diaz. Salah stays on. Could you win against Man, Bear, Pig, says 89. I don't know what that is. Love to see Liverpool going for the quadruple and only having the chance to win one trophy in the span of 5 months. Swivel on that, says Jimmy. Hi Mark, no Xerxes starting 11 today. Personally, I think it's a mistake. Love the show. Support from Florida, says Caden. I'm sure he'll get on. I've got to say, I'm not a massive fan of Eriksen playing, but I suppose we're expecting Leicester to not have much of the ball, in which case possession-based might be looking to beat a low block. Omar says, no one expected Liverpool to lose to PSG. Can Arsenal still win the Premier League? They're only 12 points behind with 30 to play. You're having a laugh, mate. Keep on dreaming. Never happening. Not even going to entertain it. I don't know why Slot I've done that from Nigel as well. Look, as I said a few minutes ago, Manchester United closed the biggest gap at the top of 12 points in 1996 against Newcastle, and that was from January. The Premier League, Liverpool won't play a Premier League game, Arsenal won't play a Premier League game now till April. Start of April. So you think a 12-point gap is gone. And Arsenal have got to go to Anfield as well. So, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. And they've only lost one game in the league all season. So you need them to lose. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. I get why some people might hope. I want it to happen, but it won't happen. Very satisfying to watch. Happy for Newcastle, says Johnny. If Liverpool are going to do anything, they need to do it now. Pope punches it away from the corner. Xerxes on the bench for United, yeah. Oh, that's a good cross. Header away. Newcastle are going to have to do a bit of defending now, though. But they can break. Isak wants to go. And he will go. And he can't. Well, fair play, Robertson there. Liverpool in crisis, says Super Donut. You know what? I'd love to be doing that video, but unfortunately, I'm going to be straight off after this to the United stand. But, well, look, you know, I think, as I said, respect to Newcastle. They've been bloody brilliant. But I think I did predict Liverpool were going to win it because they are the favourites, of course. But Newcastle have got a game in hand on Man City and Chelsea. If they win that game in hand, they're in 4th place. So, okay, Anthony Gordon's not playing, but it's still 1st against 4th. I think some people thought it was Stoke against Liverpool. Newcastle are still a good side, and for Newcastle to win, it needed to be Newcastle on their A game and Liverpool on their C game, and that's exactly what's happened. At no point have Liverpool played well, and for most of the game, Newcastle have. And it's fair. No better feeling than waking up Sunday morning and seeing Liverpool losing, says OTG, and knowing Don Hussam is suffering right now. Please continue losing streak. Good play by Chiesa, but a foul by Bruno G. Where did Bruno Guimaraes come from? Was it? I know it was the French league. Was it Lyon or Lille? Definitely the French league, wasn't it? Headed away by Dan Burn. Lyon. It was Lyon, thank you. Still 12 minutes. If Liverpool can scrap one, definitely playing with more energy now. Do I think Derby will stay up, Matthew? What league are Derby in? Oh, that's good play, but it's good defending by Shah. Burn man of the match is Brian. Mark, you say United was the last team to close a 12-point gap. Why can't Arsenal team do it? Liverpool are absolutely crumbling. I've already explained it, Omar. There's no way Liverpool are losing a 12-point gap in April when they've lost one game all season in the Prem. And also, Liverpool have only got the Premier League to focus on now. They've got no Champions League football. Arsenal will be kicking themselves, though, because if they'd beat Man United, that would be another 2 points. If they'd beat West Ham, that would have been another 3 points. Those 5 points might have made a little bit of difference, but I mean, it's a 12-point gap, and even if it was 7 points, I'd still say it's too much. Callum Wilson's going to come on for Isaac. Such a good goal that. I think Murphy's head back is underrated. Literally just purposely heads it back onto Isaac's foot. You don't see a lot of that. "120 minutes from Tuesday are clearly visible today," says Mames. Joe Willock's coming on. He's had a very good season, Murphy, for Newcastle, hasn't he? Very good. Richard Cook says, "Can you please say hi to my kids, Eliza and Max? Huge fans." Hello to both. Hope you're enjoying the game. Remember, you can join me on the United stand at 7 o'clock. I'm going straight over there for my third watch along today. Long day. Long day on very little sleep. But we're John Bon Jovi. We're halfway there. In fact, we're probably more than halfway there. We are more than halfway there. International break watch-alongs for England? Yes, Albanian goat. I'll give Tuchel's team a watch. Newcastle on the attack again here. Still nothing from Liverpool. 9 minutes to go. Joel Linton. He'll shoot, and he shoots wide. Did you get a KFC, Mark? No, Matthew. I was good. Does Salah disappear in most games? Says Real. No. He scores in most games. He's had a bad week, Salah, but it's, you know what? It happens. It happens with Haaland. It happens with Mbappe. We ain't playing FIFA. We're playing real life, and real life players do go through periods of quiet. I'm glad Livramento got called up for England as well. I think he's a good player. Another corner for Newcastle. Where do you think... look, Liverpool are going to win the league. They're not going to win this. They're out of the Champions League. Slot's going to get his first summer transfer window. What are Liverpool sort of linked to in the summer? Where do you think they're going to go for spending money? Because they're probably going to have a good couple of 100 million to spend, aren't they? What are they looking at? Isaac. Well, Isaac doesn't need to leave Newcastle if they're in the Champions League. Kirkez, I think, will happen. Mr. Miyagi, yeah. But yeah, striker, Gyökeres probably would work quite well, yeah. A couple of people mentioning Alvarez. I think Alvarez will leave Atletico Madrid at some point, but after 1 year, doubt it. Kubo would be a very good signing if Salah goes. Five minutes to go. Frimpong as Trent replacements as Joshua. Gakpo, good defending again by Dan Burn. Free kick. Newcastle, more minutes. You're looking at it for Liverpool now and you're saying, right, 5 minutes. That's a couple of delayed free kicks from Newcastle. Maybe 1 or 2 attacks for Liverpool. They're running out of time here. I think it's been gone for a long time, but they're definitely running out of time to do anything in this. And honestly, also, the story's already been written. I just can't see how you change it. There's Anthony Gordon. He looks happy. Cause I've been crying over you. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I think we nearly did hit 313,000, but I will double check. Get involved with That's Football. Daily content for you. We're 10 away from 312,000. Sorry, not 313. Get involved. Everybody's welcome on That's Football. And it's been... I tell you what, it's been real. Newcastle about to win their first trophy in 80 years. 80 years. I can't speak. I tell you what, there'll be a lot of celebrating in London tonight. Lackluster from Liverpool. There can be no excuses. There can be no moaning. It's just not been good enough. The better team is winning 2-0, and they've been the better team for all of this game. There's not been one 5-minute period in an entire 85 minutes where Liverpool, champions-elect, have actually looked the better side. It's been a relentlessly hard-working and effective performance from Newcastle United, and they thoroughly deserve this trophy. Got work tomorrow, but if Newcastle win, I'm going with a hangover. It's a support stick. Just take it off. Say you're Irish and it's St. Patrick's Day and you recognise it as a national holiday. Rebecca, fair play. Liverpool fan here, don't deserve the win. Look, I think football fans are generally educated. We have our loyalties. I've certainly seen it with United this year. A lot. The likes of Crystal Palace and Brighton and Spurs and lots of other teams who've beaten us, and you just have to say they're the better team. I don't think many Liverpool fans are going to be sat there going, this is not deserved. You can ask questions. There can be an inquiry why Newcastle have been able to be the better team, and I think that's on Liverpool. But ultimately, there is no debate about who the better team is. As for why Liverpool haven't been able to put in a performance, because they are better than this, I don't want to disrespect Newcastle and say tired or emotionally hungover from the Champions League. I just think Newcastle wanted it more. Newcastle winning a title before Arteta and Spurs, says Chuck. Mark, does this season for Liverpool not remind you of the 2006-07 season for United? Won the league but lost the FA Cup and went out in the semis in the Champions League, says Ryan. I think we had a few years like this at United where we just won the Premier League and it felt a little bit disappointing because you've been knocked out of the Champions League. But look, as much as a United fan, I'd love this to derail a Liverpool season and them end up with nothing. The fact is, they're going to win the Premier League, and when they lift that in a few weeks, they're not going to remember this, and they're not going to remember the Champions League. They're going to go, start the season, we'd have bit your hand off for this, and we've got it. But I think it just goes to show as well how difficult it is to win multiple trophies. Full stop. I think Liverpool have got a decent squad, but I don't think they've got the squad of a Man City in their prime, have they? Every time I hear Liverpool fans say Gerrard carried the team by themselves, I ask them what trophies. He has one Champions League, one FA Cup, and that's it. Nothing in international football, says Grealish. JP says, I think Liverpool have been found out, and next season they could be in big problems. 8 minutes added on. For what? Liam says, do people not know that Arteta won an FA Cup? Look, whether Liverpool have been found out or not, I've said for a few months now that next season will be very difficult for them because we don't know who's going to go out of Van Dijk, Trent and Salah. And also, Slot wasn't expected to win the Premier League in his first year. So now that he has or is looking like winning the Premier League, he's got to try and defend it next year, and that's never as easy. He's also got his first summer transfer window. He's never bought any players in yet, really, bar Chiesa. So I think it will be a challenging year for them next year, but that doesn't mean that they won't be good. Man of the match. I don't know why we've got 8 minutes. Man of the match, I would say. I think Dan Burns got to be a mention. Joel Linton, Isak. But I think so many players for them. I mean, Liveramento's had a bloody good game. People moan about Mo Salah, and then nobody's mentioned Livermento. So apparently, it's almost like Mo Salah's gone and hidden in the corner. Which he hasn't. Like, he's been kept quiet and nobody's really mentioned Livramento. I think he's had a good game. So, look, I just think for Newcastle, it's just been a really good performance. Funny thing is about these 8 minutes is that if Liverpool got one back now, in the next couple of minutes, you'd have a chance. But I don't think even Liverpool fans want 8 minutes. I don't think they. I think they could play till Christmas and not get back in this game. It's just not going to go their way. As I say, at no point have they looked threatening. Oh no! I've shut up! No, Darwin Núñez handball, surely. No, Newcastle will clear it. Good play by Joel Linton. Oh, be careful. Lovely ball. He's surely offside. Chiesa. Offside. He's giving it. Newcastle were very, very sure Glad Liverpool are losing, says Leon. Congratulations to Newcastle, says Sully. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be... Oh, I think he might be on. Might be on here. Surely not. Looks onside, but I actually think he might be off. I think the camera angle there is deceiving. When are we going to get automated offside? It's bloody Wembley. He looks on, but the angle of that... Pressure now, isn't it? Surely not. Surely Liverpool don't get back into this. He's onside. Onside. Bloody hell, Newcastle fans. If you bottle this, you'll never live it down. You'll never live it down. What else are they checking here? What? Not a goal. No, they've given it. Fucking hell. Good finish from Kaiser, to be fair. But Eddie Howe can't believe it. I thought there was... I can't believe that's been given. I could do for Liverpool's loss, says Jacko. It ain't over yet, mate. There's still a few minutes here. I'd say we've still got another 4 minutes because there was a lot of stoppage time for that. Referee's announcements are stupid, to Shahin. I don't know why there was 8 minutes. I genuinely don't think there should have been 8 minutes, but you'd be nervous now, wouldn't you? Who's this guy? I've never bloody seen him in my life. Looks like my accountant. Why is he playing right back for Newcastle? Who's that? Coughed. Oh, yeah, I do know who that is. Kraft, that's it, yeah. Come on, Paul, says Rub. Bloody hell. You know, if you're a Newcastle player, fan, manager, your arse is going to be twitching like a bunny's nose at the moment, isn't it? They've got to keep that ball in that corner. You know, Chiesa, I think he looks like the son at a Friday night dinner. Not Simon Bird, Tom Rosenthal. Go on, let him go. Let Willett go. Go for the corner. Keep it in the corner. Wins a corner as well. Liverpool just can't get up the other end. Newcastle have done a sterling job here of running down the clock. Tonali's going to get booked for doing up his laces. Very clever. He's played the game. Italian, time wasting. He's played the game. He's played the game. Yeah, I think Newcastle have done a great job here because I think there was about 4 minutes to play after that Chiesa goal and they've killed 3 minutes of it easily. And they're going to want to throw in here. And look, just brilliant game management. You can't score another goal if you can't get the ball up the other end. And Liverpool just can't get the ball at the moment. So very, very good. People might be getting stressed, but I think Newcastle have handled this mentality brilliantly, because you'd be panicking. You're absolutely panicking, but they haven't panicked. They've just kept the ball. Again. Bruno Guimaraes. Liverpool now have the ball, but are they going to have time? Right, they might. What? Where's all Newcastle's players? There's too many players. Too many players. Go on, Joel Linton. I think he's offside. I think Callum Wilson's offside, but run to the corner anyway. Well done. Well done. That's good. It's all time. Joel Linton. Joel Linton off the ball there has just took Harvey Elliott to the ground and the referee wasn't even looking. Wasn't even looking. We've had 10 minutes here. I think there's probably still another minute or so. Referee's a twat. He wasn't even looking at the play. Harvey Elliott's down. He needs to try and get up. Thanks everybody who's tuned in, by the way. I am on United Stand. I'm just going to be a little bit late on there because we're watching the end of this game here. How long is this referee going to give? It can't be that long. It can't be. I think we're at that point now where he's blown it. There we go. Newcastle, Carabao Cup winners. Well done, Eddie Howe. Well done, Newcastle. Well done, Newcastle fans. 80 years you've been waiting for a trophy. Whatever you think about it, that is a fairy tale for them. And they played against United a couple of years ago in a Carabao Cup final and lost. But they're back 2 years later winning it against Liverpool. A momentous historical moment for Newcastle Football Club. And I don't think if you're a fan of football, you can really begrudge them that unless you're a Sunderland fan. Eddie Howe's done a fantastic job there. He's been written off a lot. But it's a, you know what? Bottom line though, a thoroughly deserved result. No Liverpool fan can sit there and go, we didn't deserve that. They absolutely deserved to win that, Newcastle. From minute 1 to minute 102, they were the better side and they absolutely deserve it. So well done to Newcastle. And well done to their fans and their players. You know, take your hat off. That's what football's about. No bias. It's just a football channel, and they deserve it. Well done. Well done. Right, I am going to keep it on, but I have got to go over to the United Stand because we're kicking off in like 25 minutes. So I will keep it on for the trophy lift if you want to join me. I'm going to be literally live on the United Stand in about 2 minutes. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you over there.